the single whip. So just as a reminder, we start here, sitting down, and sit down, step to the left, come up, sit down. Oh, basic posture, shift to the left, turn to the right diagonal, yank down and push, shift, bring the feet front, turn, and push. Circle, brush, push. Step, circle now to the diagonal, closing the body, push, 180 turn, ward off, grasp the sparrow's tail, everything we've seen already in the 13 postures. Push, shift the weight forward, drop the hands, look left, step left to the front diagonal. And again, ward off, grasp the sparrow's tail, ceiling closed. And then from here, drag down to the cardinal. And then single whip to the cardinal, shift to the cardinal, push. And now we're going to go to the front diagonal. Drag down, elbow strike, shoulder strike. And all this is along the front diagonal. Okay? So from single whip, so we're here, and we want to go over there. So my front foot is actually already in the correct position. So all I have to do is to shift the weight to the front. So first of all, you're here, relax the arms. Shift, drop the arms. The right foot points towards the diagonal, the front diagonal. Now we're just going to do drag down, just as before, towards the diagonal. And then rise up, stand up, elbow strike, shoulder strike. And again, this is a variation of something we've already done. In the 13 postures, we had done elbow strike from here, from below, followed by shoulder strike. It's the same idea. If what we did is somebody tries to punch you in the belly, and you do elbow strike. Right, so notice that this is very similar to what we just did before when we were here, deflecting here. Right, this idea of stepping and using that arm, curved arm, to deflect a low punch. Boom. We're essentially doing the same thing here, where we were dragged down, and was accepted before in 13 postures we would do here. Now the punch is high, so we have to go here. Stand up, elbow strike, shoulder strike. So what we're doing is, from drag down, standing up. Notice I bring my foot slightly in, standing up on the left leg, and then closing the hands, sit down, step out onto the heel, rise up, and again to that midpoint where I'm bracing myself against with the left leg. Elbows are up, and then shoulder strike. Okay, so all we're doing is this. You don't have to brush to the side. It's all along the vertical plane, and part of that is because the arm already has an angle, right? So if you just bring your arm up, you don't have to push to the side because the angle of your arm is going to be enough to deflect. So there's a punch coming straight at me, but because my arm is at an angle, just doing this will deflect it just off the line of my nose, right? So I don't have to turn. There's no sideways deflection. It's just forward deflection. But because my arm is as an angle, that's enough to deflect. And so I deflect, and then both arms go up. And it's the same thing as before. I deflect with the front arm. The back arm controls my opponent's punch. Right? So this is what you'd actually doing in a real application. It's actually this, because this hand is controlling the fist, this hand is blocking, and then elbow strike. But here for the form, we're going to do here, sit down, elbow, shoulder. All right? Simple, you've already done this. So from single whip, we're here, we shift the weight onto the left leg, slide forward. Drag down, then rise up on the rear leg, cross the hands, sit down, elbow, shoulder. Okay? So from the top, if we were here, and we do front diagonal. So this is the left front diagonal. Sweep, brush, strike, step, separate the hands, and this is to the diagonal. Cross, push, turn to the diagonal, ward off, and again grasp the sparrow's tail. All right, we've already done this in 13 postures. Drop the hands, sitting on the right leg, so facing front. Sitting front. Look left, step left. Boom. Grasp the sparrow's tail. And again, seal it closed and all of that, just like 13 postures. Now to the cardinal, drag down. To the cardinal. And single whip. Cardinal. Cardinal. Then from here, relax the arms, drag down to the left diagonal, elbow, shoulder. And now we're going to do a transition that takes us to the rear diagonal in order to do again elbow, shoulder. Okay? So the transition looks a little complicated. But just keep in mind that part of what you're doing is you're going from one diagonal to the next. So you're doing a 90-degree turn, right? Because if I was here in my single whip, I'm going here to the diagonal for elbow, shoulder, and then I transition 90 degrees to the other diagonal, okay? So what exactly is happening with this transition? It's worth looking into. So we've done elbow, shoulder. What we're going to do is turn, right? Turn as I sit on that front leg. So when I do shoulder strike, I'm rising up. 55% of the weight is on the rear leg, 45% is on the front, right? Because I'm pushing off the rear leg, and I'm here. So all I'm going to do is continue shifting forward. And as I shift forward, I pick up the heel. All right? So if I'm here, I'm going to pick up that heel so that now my hips are square. So I'm here, and now I'm here. And notice what happens with this hand. As my left hips turn and square up, my left hand moves forward because it's moving with the hips. So it's not necessarily that I'm moving my hand forward, just I'm letting my hand maintain its relationship with the rest of my body. So when I'm here, it is now forward, and I'm now seated onto my right leg, so the front leg. So from here, now I simply stand up, pick up the knee, and then I'm going to circle. Right, so remember we're doing a 90-degree turn. So in this case, I'm facing front, and I'm going to go to the 90 degrees from there. So I'm going from here to square, stand up, and notice what's happening here. Hand and knee turn, my hands turn. And we're just going to simply do a drag down, essentially at the other end. So you're doing here to here, and now hand and knee moving together, turn to the 90 degrees. But the other hand is also going to turn to the 90 degree because it's essentially playing catch up. And now here I'm going to switch. So which hand, right, I'm doing this, and I'm going to switch which hand is over the knee because here, pretending I'm turning this way, my hands are simply going to do this. That's literally it. You go from here, right hand is down, to here. Left hand is down. That's literally all you're doing. This, right? That's it. Except that you're doing this as you turn. That's all it is. So it's from here, square the hips. That's the important part. So now your weight is on the right leg. Right hand is sitting here. Left hand is in front of you. Pick up the left knee. Switch. Drag down. without falling down. Here, square, pick up, turn, switching the hands, drag down, and push. Right? It's not just a weird switch. This is actually a really cool move. If you're here and you've done shoulder strike, what you're essentially doing is you're fishing forward in front of the guy's chest here, and you're going to pick up their knee with your knee and throw them. See? That's what you're doing. So you're pushing their chest back, and your knee is picking their front knee up. So you're sending their legs this way and their chest that way. So you're throwing them. Right? So from shoulder, you're deep, right? Because if you're doing shoulder strike, the guy's right here. So you're here, and you just throw them. So shoulder, throw them, turn, yank down. And then this, you can see how this is going to be dropping them on their head. All right, so this is here, throw, boom. Except that we're going to go here, throw, and then push, drag down. Okay, and then from the drag down, we simply do another one. Elbow, shoulder. So what that looks like, if I started this way, right, we're doing diagonal, diagonal, cardinal, diagonal, diagonal, boom, 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 sit down, look, other diagonal, boom, 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 drag down, the cardinal, single whip, cardinal, cardinal. So now we're doing the first elbow strike, shoulder strike, turn, now to the other diagonal. We've done 90 degrees, elbow, shoulder. All right, so if we started here, we end up here to the rear left diagonal for the second shoulder strike. Okay, so again, this comes straight out of the 13 postures. Instead of doing drag down and then having a twist the joint, which puts us in the right position, we just go from drag down straight into elbow, shoulder. All right, this is everything you've done already. So we're here and we've done shoulder. And then we sit back, cross the hands, pick up the foot, kick, stomp, shift the weight forward, strike. So this is a brand new move. It comes out of shoulder strike. And the thing you want to remember is you're here, somebody comes from the cardinal direction, throws a punch towards your nose. So the first thing you do is you sit back. Bring the hands up, so this is cross. And so essentially what you're doing is you're blocking a fist that's coming for you. Right, this can be someone trying to hit you over the head or just a punch. You're just coming here and blocking. Picking up that foot. So as you do this, all right, so I'm sitting fully onto the right leg in this case. As you do this, the left hand comes in and you form a cross. And then you pick up the left foot and kick, stomp. And then you're going to turn by shifting forward. So this is going to be the important part. So you're doing shoulder strike over there, and you punch this way. So you shift back, deflect, pick up the foot, kick, stomp, shift the weight forward, and strike. So first of all, this kick, it's the first kick that we've seen in the form. Later on, we'll see there's several other kicks that are going to come up. It's there, it's the first kick, and it's the easiest because it's the lowest. We're going to keep it nice and low. We're kicking essentially the knee down. So you pick up the foot, turn the foot at an angle, right? So it's not kicking straight, it's kicking at an angle. The reason for that is you're going for the guy's leg that's right there, but you can't really see it. He's just punched you, you're over here. So you just turn the foot and you smack wherever it hits. So you're using the arc of your foot to stomp or hit the knee, and then you essentially slide the foot down and stomp on the guy's foot. This is where you know that Tai Chi is a real martial art. It has all these sneaky, rather nasty moves, and this is one of them. Right, you kick, stomp. So you essentially find the guy's foot, and even if it's not a strong kick, now you know where his leg is, and you just slide down the front of his leg, which is really painful, and then you use your heel to stomp onto the top of their foot. Meanwhile, you've blocked their kick, the punch, kick, stomp. Now from here, notice that when you shift forward, you're going to naturally turn, right? So if you look at my arm, this arm is in contact with that fist that came at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm stepping and turning. So notice what that does. If this arm is in contact with that fist that's coming at me, simply by doing this, I'm now moving that arm that's striking me out of the way. So it's not pushing, the arms don't move in relationship to the body, but simply by being here, notice also from the stomp and kick, my foot is pointed to the diagonal. So if I shift the weight forward and step through, my body naturally turns, right? I was here, and now I'm here, right? So notice how this arm sweeps through space simply from stepping, and that's what you want. Because now, this arm only has to extend, boom, for a strike behind it. Notice the hands literally, all they do is this. That's it. After you've done this, here, the body turns, boom. My head is gonna turn, so I'm facing front. If my head doesn't turn, I'll give you a better sense of actually what the body is doing. So if I'm here to here, I've completely turned. So now, just unfold that arm because I've given myself space. Unfold that arm, and that's a strike. And we're striking with the edge, bam, like this. It can be to the head, it can be all sorts of things, to the neck, the jaw. But that's what you're doing here. Cross to deflect, kick, stomp, step through turning, and expand and strike. Okay? That's kind of fun little thing. But so, from shoulder, sit down, cross, pick up, kick, stomp, step through, strike. Now from here, we're going to step back, circle the hands, and white crane spreads its wings. Okay? So, let's see. We were facing this way. Shoulder strike, sit back, cross the hands, pick up the foot, kick, stomp, step through, strike with the right hand. Then the left hand is going to circle back as my as my right foot circles back at the same time. Notice my right hand is essentially staying in the same position. It's going to draw along the cardinal. Rise up, circle the hands. Right? We were here, left hand, right foot, circle back, come in, white crane spreads its wings. So I end up balance on the right leg, palms are out. It's not out here, it's here, right? So it's supposed to be the white crane, so it's big and expansive, so you want to have that sense of circles, but again, use your back to determine how big your arms are going to be. If I'm here, or my arms do, my back is now pinched. The shoulder blades are coming together. There's no strength in my back. So I want to round the back. Here, it's like, okay, now my back is supporting my shoulders. So I know that my arms are forming this circle because my back is in the correct position. So you want to feel where your shoulder blades are flattened against your back, and you feel that your spine is connected to your shoulders, and so the strength of the shoulders are coming from the back. If it's too spread out, immediately you feel there's no more connection anymore. So it's here. Now I'm connected. Now I know that this is here. The hand's not up here. Here, notice it's protecting the face. Hand is here. So this is protecting from a blow coming from this way. This is protecting from a blow coming from that way. White crane spread its wings. There's all sorts of other applications for this. If you notice, if I'm here, somebody grabs my hand, this is also a way of breaking that hold, right? Someone tries to grab you and you come up from below, you're pulling with the weight of your body. So you're not yanking with the arm, you're simply stepping. And the step, notice what happens with my shoulder, simply by stepping. I'm pulling my whole arm, my whole hand and arm backwards from stepping, even when it's in line. So I have the full weight of my body behind it. And as I do that, this hand comes up from below and strikes. So that's one of the applications. But where we're here, kick, step through, strike, left hand sweeps down, right foot sweeps back, they cross and then rise up. White crane spreads its wings. All right, so if we were here, so now starting facing this way, we've done all this, shoulder strike, sit back, cross, kick, stomp, strike towards the cardinal, step back, and white crane spreads its wings to the cardinal. Okay? So we're all facing in the same directions. We all started this way. We're now facing the cardinal. White crane spreads its wings. Weight is on the right leg. We're now simply going to turn, brush knee, play the pipa. Drag down, brush knee, play the pipa. 180-degree turn, drag down, brush knee, play the pipa. Just like 13 postures. Okay, so we just saw a new chunk that was very different moves, white crane spread swings and all that. But then it's followed by something that you've already seen straight out of the 13 postures. Drag down, brush knee, play the pipa.